everyone! Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ or on Ravelry as MamamadeVM. As I say, you are all very welcome here. So I like to just hop right in and start with my starts. This past couple weeks, I didn't start very many things, and I felt like that was good. I think I need a break from starting so much stuff, but there was a stitch along that I could not resist joining in on. So Bridget, the museum stitcher, and the 20-minute stitcher, they got together to start a stitch along the spooky Quaker sow, and they are stitching this. So this is Lila Studios Halloween Quaker. So it's a super fun project. I have been wanting to start this for quite some time because I love the colors. I love everything about it. And I am stitching mine on a 32 count piece of Picture This plus Mire. I'll show you the fabric first because it is stunning. So here's the fabric, and here is my start. So I started in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm stitching it 1/2. I'm almost completed with the first large motif there. And I think after that, I'm gonna move down over here and get to that little witch's hat because there's like tons of color changes in there. And I just think it's so cute. I love that. So I'm excited to start it, but I am really loving the way this looks. I'm using all of the called for classic colorworks. And then I think there's one DMC 310 that's in there. And I just love this. Look at these colors. Aren't they amazing? Look at that green. Ugh. It's just wonderful. I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I like the contrast of the fabric, and I think it was a good choice. I'm hoping it fits on this piece of fabric. I'm a little worried it won't because it's a pretty big piece, but I figure honestly I can cut out some of the motifs that are on the other side and I won't be too upset about it. So I'm just looking at it here. Yeah, it'd be pretty easy to cut out some of the other motifs because they have it kind of like, if you wanted to cut it down here, you really could. So if it doesn't fit, that's what I'll have to do. But I love this fabric. It had to be this one. I love the contrast. So that's been a really fun one. I've been enjoying stitching on that. I spent a few evenings stitching away on that one. The next projects I have are just whips from the past couple weeks, and so those are actually more stitch alongs. So for Alexis from Alexis_My_Amazing_World, she had a 4 for 34 birthday sale, and I picked up a couple of projects and started them, but I did very minimal stitching, like 30 to 45 minutes on each piece, and then called it quits because I got really busy and I got home really late from work. So it just ended up where I didn't have very much time stitching, whereas this last week I had a lot more time, and so I decided, okay, let's put a couple hours in each piece and actually get some stitching done. So I re-pulled out one of those starts, which is this one, Little House Needlework's The Library, or no, sorry, this is The Bookshelf. And this is like women authors of the 19th and 20th century. So I'm really enjoying this. I love the women who are featured on this project, and I am stitching this one with all of the called for DMCs, and I have them on my acrylic floss drops. Really enjoying these floss drops, by the way. I know I mentioned them last week, but I'll re-link them below this week again because they are absolutely amazing. They're just so smooth. It's really easy to take your floss off of them. I like that it has this extra space for you to be able to put your extra thread when you are done. But yeah, I'm really enjoying those. So that's awesome. And this, I have a 32 count Weeks Dye Works Gray. And here is my progress. So last time I showed this to you guys, I only had these 3 books done. So I have almost this book done. I need to add in the DMC Diamond that I chose to replace the gold metallic thread, but I need to put that in here in those empty slots. I put in this shelf and the potted plant, got all this side, the stitching is mostly done, and then I just need to fill in these little 3 motifs on the pot here. The only struggle that I have with this one is the called for colorway for the pot, this little like pot here in the center. I didn't have, I don't know what happened. I must have lost it somewhere along the way, or maybe I just didn't order it, but I'm pretty sure I kitted this up all together on 1-2-3 stitch, and I didn't have anything that was like, oh, this item's out of stock. So I'm not sure what happened, but that's fine. I decided to go ahead and look up a color conversion. So there was a few different listings for DMCs that were in similar shades. I chose 2 of them stitched one row of the pot with each, and neither of them really showed up on this gray fabric. It's weird because this isn't gray to me. It's more of like a, I don't know, old-fashioned oatmeal. It's like oats that aren't cooked kind of color. I really like the color, and it's been a dream to stitch on, but in my opinion, I wouldn't call this gray. And so what I ended up doing is those two colors just didn't work, so I threw those ones out the window. Wasn't gonna happen, and I just ended up pulling a like kind of neutral gray tone. And I thought that worked pretty well, because if you look at the leaves here, some of them are like this dark olive green, and I felt like the gray really went with that well, so I like it. Happy with the progress, happy with the stitch. I love the pattern. I'm kind of figuring that these Little House Needleworks, she's probably, or I should say they, because I don't know, they are probably one of my favorite designers. I just am obsessed. I love the designers. I love the patterns they put out. It's always stuff that I find just really appealing. And they're usually, or at least the ones I have seen, have been pretty small. So I like that. I noticed as well, like a lot of them call for 28 counts. So they end up even smaller if you're doing it on a, 32 like I am. So that's been really enjoyable. And I have this inside one of my cheapy Amazon bags, and I'll link these below because I love them. So that one's been really fun. The next project I pulled out, again, I stuck with those starts that I started a couple weeks ago, and I pulled out Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings. I really love this piece, and I loved the look of the called for here, this like warm honey colored fabric with the dark, dark, deep blue. So I did end up using the NPI 928, which is Atlantic blue. But I decided to just go to my LNS Threadneedle Street and find a linen. So I decided to go with 36 count Copper Kettle. It's like a no-name linen. My LNS has, and I think many other LNSs have the same thing, where there's no brand to the linen. It's just like, this is 36 count linen, this is 28, this is 40, whatever. So I picked up Copper Kettle, and here's my progress for that one. I'm really enjoying this contrast. I just think it's so pretty. I ended up completing this little bug here, starting a squirrel motif here, and then I got to this stag and got him finished up. But I'm really enjoying this. I love these colors, and the MPIs have been just a dream to stitch on or stitch with. And I really like the linen. It softens up the more you use it, and so it's very enjoyable to use, and this color is just beautiful. I think you guys can kind of tell that it's dark blue. Yeah, because my hair is like jet black. The blue is definitely dark blue. So loved this, enjoying it a lot. I think that I think I'm actually gonna stitch this one as a Christmas present. I have someone in mind because the person who I'm going to stitch it for, or at least have in mind to stitch it for, really loves history, much like myself. This, let's see, there's like a synopsis of the pattern on the back. See, Matter's Choice was the name given to an 1853 Maryland home built by George Matter and his wife, where Kathy once lived. So Kathy must be the name of the pattern designer? I'm not sure. Well, anyways, I really enjoyed this piece, and I think that the person who I give it to will really enjoy that little history as well. So it's really pretty. I've been enjoying that. It's gonna be pretty small as well, which is kind of what I wanted. It's also one of those pieces that you can hang up all year round. You could have it in your hallway, have it in your entryway, whatever. It doesn't really go with one season. And I think that'll work well with this person's home and their style. The blue makes sense to me, so hoping that works out. So that is all of my whips as far as cross stitch. I think I'm gonna move right into my knitting, and then after that, I'll insert the clip of who won the giveaway. So if you guys remember, last week I had talked about how I wanted to rip out my sweater number 13 and restart with the classic, which is a beautiful turtleneck. I'll insert a picture here. This is a pattern by Espace tricot, and I decided to go ahead, after asking you guys if I should do a like rolled over like turtleneck, I ended up going with the rolled over. So I've gotten quite far. That looks silly, doesn't it? But you can kind of see what it'll look like. So cute. I feel like it made my head look like it was floating. So I am stitching this with my ChowGoo interchangeable sets, You guys know I will always use travel glues. I absolutely love them. I'm using the call for needle size, which is a US size 7 of 4.5mm needle, and I did the twisted rib neckline. And the only modification I've made is that I made it a fold over neck. So the called for is like 4 inches of a just straight across turtleneck, but I wanted mine to be super cozy because the yarn I'm using is pretty rustic, and I just know it'll be one of those sweaters where I don't need a jacket, but I should be extra cozy and warm, and that's what I was going for. So I did the twisted rib neckline, which is super stretchy and awesome. And what I did to make it to where the twisted rib was on the exterior is I did a wrap and turn and then just knit a row before I started the raglan. And that made it to where when you fold this down, because you start knitting the opposite way when you do that wrap and turn, that the exterior is that twisted rib. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I've gotten a lot of the raglan done. It's kind of a funky raglan. It's a free pattern, so I don't feel like I'm giving away the secret sauce or anything here, but it's like a staggered increase, which is very unusual. Usually raglans are like knit one row, do the increases on there, knit one row, back and forth, back and forth. Well, this one is like a sequence of 4 different kinds of rows. So it's like the first one is you don't increase on the sleeves, but you increase on the front and back. So you're getting a 4-stitch increase. The next row, you're increasing sleeves and front and back. So you're getting an 8 increase. Next row, knit 1 row. Next row, repeat row 2. So it's hard to follow along. I have to definitely know. It's better, I would say, if you are able to read your knitting, because if you're not marking off on the pattern which row you're on, then I could see how you would probably end up repeating the wrong row. I mean, I'm sure I've done it in here. And I'm using the Fiber Company Lure, which is 100% Cordale. Really enjoying this, this yarn. It's a really nice, it's a nice yarn. It's pretty, and I kind of like how it has a natural fluff. It's nice and soft. I just rolled this ball by hand because I was too lazy to get out my ball winder. But I'm enjoying it, and I really cannot wait to have just a super cozy cream colored sweater, because it's one of my favorite things for the winter is to have a nice basic cream sweater that's a turtleneck that I can just wear outside, no jacket kind of thing. It gets pretty cold here in the Pacific Northwest, so especially in Washington. Especially it's weird because a lot of people get snow in like December and stuff, right? Yeah, not in Washington. We get snow in like February. So it'll just be nice. It's kind of one of those pieces that kind of goes with all the cold seasons because it's nice and it suits the name of the pattern. It's a classic. So I'm enjoying the fiber. I like the knit. It's been a fun one. I'm almost done with the raglan increases, so I'll be able to put the sleeve stitches on just waste yarn and knit the body, so that'll be exciting and fun. And then my only other knit is my half and half triangle wrap. This is another free pattern, and this is a free pattern by Purl Soho. I'll insert a picture of the pattern here. Love this pattern. It is so pretty. Well, I completely finished the black side of my half and half triangle wrap, so it is so huge. That is just one length. And I have picked up for the second half, which the second half, I ordered these Holst super soft cones. This is the colorway Cinnamon, I think. No, sorry, this is the colorway Tobacco. And you can see it's just a beautiful tonal brown. I actually ordered this, and I also ordered, oh, I don't remember the name of it. Trying to think of the name. I do not remember. Let me go and grab it because it's a cooler brown, but I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm definitely going to use this other brown. So let me go and grab it. Okay, so here is the cone of the other colorway, and here is it compared. I know, I'm a psychopath. This is how you know you're a knitter, when you're looking at these and you're like, they're so different. I needed both of them. So I really knew I wanted something that was warm, like a warm brown. But looking at the photos, I felt like there was some warm bits in this shade, which is Scots Pine. And then in this one, Tobacco. I knew I wanted some shade of brown. I really like wearing brown myself. I like warm tones like this rusty orange color and like shades of pumpkin and stuff. I like those colors. So I knew I'd use both of these regardless, but I ended up choosing the Tobacco because it's quite a bit warmer, and I really liked that in contrast with the black. This is just Holst super soft black. And these are really rustic wools, I will say that, but I love them. They're great for color work. They bloom really nicely, and it's just easy to stitch right off the cone. That's what I'm doing right now. So I did get all of my first half of the half and half wrap complete, and I have started with the second half in that beautiful tobacco color, and I'm really liking the contrast. I don't know. I mean, you'll really never know until you block it out and you like wear it and you see how you feel about it, but I'm loving it. I mean, the tobacco is just beautiful. Let me see. It's so hard to get it without, you know, seeing straight through the fabric because it blooms. So by that, I mean that once you soak this fiber, it opens up, and because it's like densely packed onto these 500-gram cones, you know, massive, it just makes it to where the fibers have really compacted themselves, and after it's soaked and nicely blocked and everything, it just ends up being absolutely stunning. But yeah, I'm enjoying this contrast. I don't know, I love it. And this is what I would call a blanket. It's definitely like a blanket shawl. So it's gonna be a full square. Half of it is black, half of it is brown. But I mean, this is like, these are the two ends. It is wider than the span of my arms, and I am 5'4". So it's not like I'm super short. But yeah, this is just massive. But I think it's gonna be so lovely. I cannot wait to just be so cozy. Oh, I love it. And it does soften up a bit too after washing. So really enjoyable, absolutely loving that knit. It's just so easy to knit as long as you know how to do a wrap and turn, which is very easy to learn. There's tons of YouTube videos, and there's also tons of written instructions if you just Google it, wrap and turns. I am obsessed. I'm really liking that. Loving it for like TV knitting, if Daniel's watching a TV show and I don't want, you know, tons of lights on and stuff, or I don't want to be paying attention to these darn raglan increases, then I've been really enjoying that. And it's just been a fun knit. I can't believe how quickly I was able, so 4 weeks is what it took me to knit the first half. If I can consistently work on it for like a couple hours a day for the next few weeks, I think I'll be able to finish it. So that would be awesome, because that would put it to where we're in the very beginning of fall and I can use it as a nice little like blanket, shawl, beautiful, comfy, cozy little moment. So I am enjoying that. I'm really excited to actually start something using the Scots Pine color as well, because I think this is so pretty. Oh, I love it. And then I brought the black cone over because I wanted to show you guys. So this is what's left of my cone. Really enjoying this, but I have enough here to either knit probably 2 sweaters or like 4 t-shirts, or I can knit quite a few color work sweaters. So I'll kind of just have to decide what I want to do. I'm kind of thinking I want to do another shawl with this and then a color work item, maybe, I don't know, because it's all black. I don't really do color work with black and white, but yeah, I'm excited about this. I'm definitely gonna pair this with like a white or cream, because I have a cone of cream from Holst Super Soft, and I think that that'll be like beautiful color work. I actually just need to pull out my books and find a Norwegian sweater to pick up and start knitting. So now I'm actually going to insert whoever the winner was for the 2K giveaway, which was the winner of a 40 count piece of vintage country mocha, a lap stand that has 2 scroll rods included, a pattern called a tasket, I'll put a picture on the screen, and then the floral motif sampler, which is a super popular one, and I'll put a picture of that on the screen as well. So I will have a clip in here next of who the winner of that was. Sorry, my daughter just popped out of the back room. All right, so congratulations to whoever the winner was. If you could send me a message on Instagram with your first and last name as well as your mailing address, that would be awesome. If you don't have an Instagram, you can contact me at my email, theseattlestitcher@gmail.com, and I will get back to you that way. Just give me some time with shipping. I don't know when I'm gonna make it to the post office next, so I'm so sorry. I will try to get there as fast as I can. I promise, I promise. No fingers crossed, I promise, okay? So next is just my acquisitions. I don't have too many acquisitions this week, at least when it comes to cross stitching. Reason being is I ordered this is terrible. I ordered 3 different orders from Top Knot Stitcher for the Needlework Expo that just happened. So I'm just gonna restart my acquisitions. So I showed you guys how I purchased this vintage book lovers, and it is pretty much just a bunch of scraps of paper. Well, I mean, it's not scraps, but it's like tags and pages from books and authors, poets, just really pretty quotes, things like that, because I junk journal. So I junk journal according to my Flosstube episodes. So I have a page in my junk journal per Flosstube episode to kind of keep notes and stuff like that. And I felt like it'd be a fun way to kind of remember this time of my life. So yeah, I've been doing that and really enjoying it. I'm obsessed with this. Can't wait to break into it and use it. I think I'm actually going to use it today because I need to sit down and fill out my junk journal page for this episode. So it's been fun. But the next acquisitions I have actually are just some more books. I've completely run out of room on my shelves. So I don't know what's wrong with me, but I really love thrift books. Again, I'll repeat that, thrift books. It is a secondhand source. They have an app as well as a website that you can order from, and they're just really gently used. You can get new. I think it's like really good, fair, and like really, I mean, not really bad, but bad. They list the condition of the books and everything, but just super affordable way to get hardbacks and expand your home library. So there was some stuff that I had been having my eye on for a little while. And then because I had found a couple of those that I had my eye on, I decided to just add a couple more books because it was pretty cheap order anyways. So one of the books that I had been wanting was Tulip Mania. I don't know why, I find the topic very interesting, and so I really wanted to pick this up. I did actually start this one, so I'm a couple chapters in right now, and it's really good so far, so I'll let you guys know as I get deeper into that one. The next book that I picked up, this one, she's in rough shape, okay, but she was printed in 1977, so we're not going to talk about it. There's like a mark on the front. The binding is way lighter than the front, but this is the Memoirs of Glunkel of Hamlin. And I really wanted this because it is actually one of the only existing diaries that we have from this time. So this is a 1690s diary of a 44-year-old German Jewish widow, and she was a mother to 14 children. It kind of goes over the fact that because she was a widow, she had to run her husband's factory. It goes over, it's her writing, so someone translated it, and it has been reprinted, I think since like the 20s, but it's been reprinted essentially. And I've just had my eye on it for a while because I find this time period, the late 1600s, early 1700s, very interesting and fascinating. And it's interesting as well to see it from the perspective of someone who lived in the time, a contemporary. So that's what made me interested in it. It just took me forever to get my hands on a copy. Like, it is so hard to get your hands on a dang copy of this. I don't know why, but yeah, I was really happy with this, and I cannot wait to start it. It just seems very fascinating, especially when you think of the fact that like she was writing this so that her children could remember her, kind of thing. So that one I thought was good. The next one I purchased was April Blood, Florence and the Plot Against the Medici. This was one that I just ended up adding to the cart because I started watching The Serpent Queen, which is about Catherine de Medici, which is Henry V's wife. And I just thought it'd be super fascinating. I mean, can you blame me? But yeah, I thought that'd be, was it Henry V? Is that her husband? I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not far enough into the Serpent Queen. The Medicis and the whole like French throne is not my strong suit in history, but I do love French history. So yeah, I just thought that one would be a good one and very fascinating, especially in correlation with the TV show. So did you guys watch the first episode? What'd you think? I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I don't know. This is one that I had my eye on for a while. This is Before Versailles. And this one is about Louis XIV, and I don't know, it's actually a historic novel. And interestingly enough, it came with this slip of paper inside, and it says, June 9th, 2011, Dear Christopher, enclosed is a copy of Carolyn Cohen's Before Versailles, which Heather LaRaz from Random House wanted to send you in thanks for your review. So this must have been a gift for someone who had reviewed. Yeah, I don't know. It must have been a gift for someone who had reviewed some books for someone. But pretty cool. It is actually a signed copy. That's one thing I like about this. So I purchased this on Thrift Books and I got a signed copy and I paid like $7 for this. So that was really cool. Cool little thing to find. And like, did I say this is actually historical fiction? So it's not nonfiction. So it's factually based, but it's not always going, it's probably going to be like from the perspective of like maybe the mistresses, maybe the queen, maybe the king. I don't know. Haven't read anything about it yet, but I just had my eye on it for a while. I like historical fiction every once in a while to kind of throw off my nonfiction, and I thought this was a fun one. So yeah, those are the 4 books that I acquired in the past couple weeks here. But besides that, that is absolutely everything. Oh, finally, gosh. I didn't think I was ever gonna make it through this video, guys. Whew. I thought I was just gonna have to call it quits and do it another day. Oh, elephant in the room. I did get my hair done. What do we think? What do we think? Don't be mean though. If you're mean to me, I will mute you. So if you don't like it, don't tell me. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. Don't tell me. I don't want to hear that. So yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's not really that different. I always dye my hair black every single fall, winter. So my hairstylist is always like, I can't believe I let you go black, because she says that I shouldn't have black hair. But I was born with black hair, so I mean, we're just going back to our roots, right? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for getting me to now like well over 2,000 subscribers. I can't believe it. I don't know why y'all watch me, but let me tell you, those comments, like I've had a really bad week this past couple weeks, and reading the comments from my last video about the reason that you guys subscribed, oh, you guys brought me so much joy. Thank you so much. Like, you guys, your kindness is, there are no words. Just, you're wonderful. So thank you. I really needed to hear some of what you guys had to say, so it brightened my day. And yes, I have a gallon of water because I drink a gallon of water a day. So there is a Megan fact for you. Cheers. Bye. This is the 5th time. The 5th time I'm starting this video. Oh my gosh. Madness. Okay. Let's get started. Sorry, my daughter's, I don't know what she's doing. Amira.
Play-Doh.
Okay, well you can play Play-Doh, but can you not dump it all out like that? Because it's really loud.